Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Monday, October 20th. Nate's invitation, Phyllis's revenge, Christine's crisis. Want more of The Young and the Restless? Get updates on the latest news about The Young and the Restless, straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. What is this? Report ad. The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for Monday, October 20th, 2025. In the next episode, fans can expect Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, to receive an unexpected invitation. Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, plots her revenge. Plus, Christine Blair's, Laura Lee Bell, bachelorette party doesn't go as planned. Christine Blair's bachelorette party. Let's start off with Christine, who is having her bachelorette party. Everyone was having a good time until Phyllis crashed the event. Fans saw the first part of that in Friday's episode. In Monday's episode, fans can expect Christine to try to evict Phyllis from her party. However, Red won't want to leave and will insist on ruining the bride-to-be's special moment. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. At some point, Phyllis must get escorted out. However, it is teased that Christine's party takes an unexpected turn. What is this? Report ad. The Young and the Restless shockers, Christine Blair's bachelorette party turns wild, old flames, new secrets, and a night Genoa City will never forget. Genoa City hasn't seen a bash quite like this in years. Christine Blair, the town's beloved legal eagle, is ready to take another chance on love, and her bachelorette party has become the talk of the town. With old friends, unexpected guests, and a few jaw-dropping moments, Christine's night of celebration might just turn into a night of revelation. As the champagne flows and memories collide with the present, it's not just a party, it's a prelude to chaos. Christine thought she was celebrating her happily ever after, but fate and a few familiar faces have other plans. From the moment Phyllis Summers heard about Christine's upcoming nuptials, the tension in Genoa City began to boil. While the two have shared decades of rivalry, few expected Phyllis to show up at Christine's bachelorette celebration. Yet in true Phyllis fashion, she arrived uninvited, dressed to kill, and armed with a smirk that could stop traffic. The moment she entered the room, the air changed, Christine's laughter froze, and Nina Webster's protective instincts kicked in. But before anyone could throw Phyllis out, she lifted her glass and proposed a toast that left the entire room gasping. Here's to old love, new lies, and women who never settle for less than chaos, Phyllis quipped, locking eyes with Christine. The crowd shifted uncomfortably, not sure if it was humor or venom. Christine's lips curved into a polite smile, but her eyes told another story, a mixture of anger, hurt, and disbelief. This was supposed to be her night. Her chance to feel free, radiant, and ready to begin a new chapter. Yet here stood the woman who'd been her biggest rival, threatening to unravel it all with just a few carefully chosen words. Still, Christine refused to let Phyllis win. She took the microphone, raised her glass, and delivered a powerful response that silenced even her boldest critics. To forgiveness, she said softly but firmly. Because holding grudges keeps us stuck in yesterday, and I'm done living there. The applause that followed was thunderous. But beneath the please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Surface, old wounds had been reopened. Paul Williams' name hovered in the background of every whispered conversation. Though Paul had left town, his shadow lingered, especially on a night like this. Some wondered if he would return for Christine's wedding. Others speculated that Christine was still haunted by what might have been. Nina could tell her best friend's smile didn't quite reach her eyes. Later that night, as the party carried on and the music grew louder, Christine slipped away to the terrace for some air. That's when the past caught up to her. Danny Romalotti appeared, his familiar voice breaking the quiet. "You look beautiful tonight, Cricket," he said, using the nickname only he could make sound sweet instead of nostalgic. The two shared a long, complicated look, one filled with history, heartbreak, and what-ifs. Their story had once been legendary, young love, music, betrayal, and second chances that never quite stuck. But seeing him there, under the string lights, Christine couldn't deny that part of her heart still ached for the man he used to be. "Danny," she whispered, "I didn't expect to see you." "Nina invited me," he confessed with a sheepish smile. "Said I should be here to wish you happiness. I guess I couldn't say no." The tension between them was electric. For a fleeting second, the years seemed to melt away. They talked quietly, reminiscing about old times, their laughter soft but bittersweet. Yet even as their conversation deepened, Christine's conscience tugged at her. She was engaged now, to a good man who loved her deeply. But how could she celebrate her future when a piece of her heart was still tangled in the past? Inside the club, chaos was brewing again. Phyllis had cornered Danny, her tone low but sharp. "Still can't resist her, can you?" she teased, her jealousy thinly veiled. Danny sighed, trying to defuse the situation. "Phyllis, this isn't the time." "It never is," she shot back. "But let's be honest, Danny, you'll never really be over her. And neither will she." Nina noticed the commotion and rushed over, determined to protect Christine's night. What followed was a tense exchange that drew everyone's attention. Voices rose, accusations flew, and by the time Christine returned to the room, the damage had been done. "Enough," she shouted, her composure finally cracking. This was supposed to be a celebration, not a circus. The room fell silent. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Even Phyllis looked momentarily remorseful. Christine's vulnerability stunned everyone. She wasn't just angry, she was hurt. "All my life," she said, her voice trembling, "I've tried to do what's right. To be kind, fair, patient. But maybe I forgot that I'm human too. Tonight was about love and friendship, and somehow it turned into a reminder of everything I've lost." Danny stepped forward, his eyes soft. "You haven't lost everything, Christine." She looked at him, tears glistening. "Maybe not. But I can't move forward if everyone keeps pulling me back." With that, she walked out, leaving behind a stunned crowd and a night no one would forget. Outside, the cool Genoa city air hit her face like a wake-up call. For the first time in a long time, Christine felt free, not because her life was perfect, but because she realized she didn't need anyone else's approval to find peace. As the night ended, whispers spread across town. Would Christine still go through with her wedding? Was Danny's reappearance a sign? And what about Phyllis? Had she truly come to cause trouble, or was her toast a backhanded blessing in disguise? One thing was clear, Genoa City's queen of composure had finally cracked the surface, revealing the woman beneath the legend. Her bachelorette party wasn't just a wild night, it was a mirror reflecting every choice, every heartbreak, every moment that shaped her. In the days ahead, Christine will have to face more than just her wedding vows. She'll have to face herself. Old flames might flicker again, loyalties will be tested, and unexpected alliances could form. But through it all, one truth remains: Christine Blair is far from done making headlines. Her story isn't ending, it's just beginning. And when the dust settles, Genoa City might never be the same again. Phyllis Summer's revenge. It is also stated that the next episode will feature Phyllis plotting her revenge. Fans already saw Christine call out Phyllis for being mostly alone during her life. It was true and struck a nerve with Phyllis, although she tried to cover. So, what is Phyllis going to do to ruin Christine and Danny Romalotti's, Michael Damian, wedding? The Young and the Restless shockers, Phyllis Summer's revenge rocks Genoa City, secrets, betrayal, and a master plan that could destroy everything. Genoa City is about to erupt in chaos once again, and at the heart of it all is the fiery redhead who never stays down for long, Phyllis Summers. After months of humiliation, manipulation, and heartbreak, Phyllis has decided it's time to take back control. Her revenge isn't impulsive this time, it's precise, emotional, and devastatingly calculated. Those who have crossed her are about to learn that when Phyllis says she's done, that's when the real game begins. From the outside, Phyllis appears to be regaining her footing. She's smiling more, attending social events, and trying to play nice. But behind that charming grin lies a storm of resentment and pain that's been building ever since she faked her own death and returned to a town that refused to forgive her. Her relationships are fractured, her children barely trust her, her exes avoid her, and her please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Enemies think she's finally broken. But Phyllis Summers doesn't break. She rebuilds, stronger and more dangerous than before. Her latest plan begins subtly. She starts by observing who's vulnerable, who's powerful, and who's got the most to lose. She knows the Newman and Abbott families are tangled in new wars, and where there's chaos, there's opportunity. She's been watching Diane Jenkins closely, waiting for her to slip up. After all, Diane's miraculous return from the dead mirrors Phyllis's own, but somehow, Diane got the redemption Phyllis was denied. That eats at her every day. Diane has Jack's heart, Kyle's loyalty, and Genoa City's sympathy. Phyllis, on the other hand, has the scars of her mistakes and the whispers behind her back. But what if she could turn the tables again? What if Diane's halo suddenly slipped, and everyone saw her for the manipulative woman Phyllis has always believed she was? The thought of it consumes her. Her first move is to befriend people who've been burned by the Abbotts. Tucker McCall becomes her unlikely ally, a dangerous but useful partner who understands the art of deception. Together, they begin feeding small pieces of information to the press, planting seeds of doubt about Diane's integrity. Rumors spread that Diane may have been behind a recent corporate mishap at Jabot. Kyle Abbott grows defensive, Jack gets furious, and tension rises inside the Abbott mansion. Just as Diane scrambles to clear her name, Phyllis pulls another string, this time using her tech skills to hack into company communications, exposing carefully selected messages that make it appear Diane's been plotting behind Jack's back. The fallout is explosive. Jack feels blindsided, and though part of him wants to believe in Diane's innocence, old memories of her betrayal come rushing back. Phyllis watches from the sidelines, savoring the moment. But her revenge doesn't stop with Diane. She's also set her sights on Christine Blair, who humiliated her during her trial and still treats her like the town's eternal villain. Christine may be happily planning her wedding, but Phyllis knows exactly how to ruin her fairy tale. It starts with a rumor, a whisper that Paul Williams might be back in town. She leaks it through an anonymous tip to the press, stirring up emotions Christine thought she'd buried. When Christine's engagement starts to wobble, Phyllis quietly smiles. She doesn't need to raise her voice anymore, she lets the truth, or her version of it, do the damage. But revenge, as Phyllis knows all too well, comes at a price. Daniel begins to notice her slipping back into old habits, scheming, lying, manipulating. He tries to confront her. "Mom, you said you wanted to be better," he pleads. Hurting people isn't. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Going to make the pain go away. For a brief moment, Phyllis hesitates. The guilt flickers in her eyes, but only for a heartbeat. "Sweetheart," she says softly, "I'm not doing this to hurt anyone. I'm doing it so they never hurt me again." Meanwhile, Danny Romalotti finds himself caught in the crossfire once again. His lingering affection for Phyllis draws him in, even as he tries to keep his distance. He warns her that revenge won't fill the void she's carrying. "You've got so much fire, Red," he tells her, "but you're burning everything in your path." Phyllis smiles sadly. Then maybe it's time they all felt the heat. As her plan intensifies, she discovers an unexpected twist. Tucker isn't just helping her for fun. He has his own hidden agenda involving Ashley Abbott and Jabot's control. Phyllis realizes she's become part of a larger game, one she didn't design. That realization pushes her to act faster, before Tucker double-crosses her. She decides to leak one final piece of information, a secret so big it could topple both the Abbotts and the Newmans. She's uncovered evidence linking a past corporate scandal to both families, proof that could ruin reputations and careers. But before she can pull the trigger, someone stops her, Nick Newman. Their confrontation is explosive. "You think this is justice?" Nick snaps. "You're just proving everyone right about you." "No," Phyllis fires back, her voice trembling with emotion. "I'm proving that I'm not the only one capable of lies. They all hide behind their moral high ground while I take the fall every time." Nick looks at her sadly. "You don't have to destroy yourself to make a point. Maybe destruction is the only way I know how to survive," she whispers. Alone later, Phyllis looks at her reflection and barely recognizes the woman staring back. The fire in her eyes has dimmed, replaced by exhaustion and loneliness. Every victory feels hollow. Every act of vengeance leaves her emptier than before. Yet even in her lowest moments, she can't fully let go. Part of her still believes that if she can just expose the truth, maybe she'll finally be free. When Diane confronts her face to face, it's a battle for the ages. "You can't keep blaming me for your misery," Diane says coldly. "You chose this path." Phyllis laughs bitterly. "And you chose to crawl out of the grave and steal my life." The argument escalates until both women are on the edge, emotionally and literally, as they stand atop the Abbott Tower rooftop. But instead of another near-death disaster, Phyllis surprises everyone. She walks away. "You're not worth my energy anymore," she says quietly, leaving Diane speechless. For the first time in years, Phyllis chooses peace. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Over chaos. Or so it seems. Because just when the dust begins to settle, a mysterious email surfaces, one that no one can trace. It contains confidential files implicating both Diane and Tucker in corporate espionage. The entire town is buzzing, but Phyllis is nowhere to be found. Did she finally disappear for good, or is this her final move, playing puppet master from the shadows? Genoa City may never know. What's certain, though, is that Phyllis Summers' revenge has left its mark on everyone. Some will heal, others will fall, but no one will forget the woman who turned pain into power and refused to be silenced. Phyllis Summers isn't a villain. She's a survivor. A force of nature who refuses to fade quietly. And as long as there's someone left to challenge her, Genoa City's Queen of Chaos will always find a way to rise again. Michael Baldwin's joyous mission. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, October 20th reveal that Michael Baldwin, Christian LeBlanc, will be on a joyous mission. The man will try to give Danny a memorable and incredible bachelor party. However, it is suggested that Danny's bachelor party could come with some unexpected twists. The Young and the Restless shockers, Michael Baldwin's joyous mission, triumphs, heartbreak, and a path that could change Genoa City forever. Genoa City has long known Michael Baldwin as a man of contradictions, brilliant, determined, sometimes reckless, but always passionate. Now, Michael is embarking on what could be the most transformative mission of his life, a journey that blends personal redemption, professional ambition, and a newfound sense of purpose that promises to touch everyone around him. The spark for Michael's latest mission ignited unexpectedly. While reviewing case files at the law firm, he stumbled upon a troubling pattern. Countless individuals in Genoa City had been wronged, some by the very system that was supposed to protect them. Wrongful arrests, mishandled cases, and overlooked injustices seemed to echo through the city's history, leaving scars that the law alone could not heal. Michael realized that his mission was bigger than any courtroom victory. It was about restoring hope to those who had lost faith in justice. The first step was please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Assembling a team. Of course, his trusted colleagues, including Paul Williams and Christine Blair, offered their support, but Michael wanted this effort to be inclusive. He reached out to community leaders, former clients, and even former adversaries, believing that genuine change required collaboration rather than control. His efforts began quietly at first, with community meetings held in local libraries and outreach programs designed to educate citizens on their legal rights. Michael's reputation helped, people respected him, but what truly made an impact was his unwavering sincerity. Unlike some who spoke in lofty terms, Michael was on the ground, listening to each story, empathizing with every setback, and offering practical solutions. Word spread quickly. Genoa City residents who had felt forgotten or dismissed began to see a glimmer of hope. From recovering stolen inheritances to advocating for families trapped in bureaucratic red tape, Michael's team started to make real, tangible differences. But Michael's mission was not without personal stakes. Nikki Newman, ever his confidant, reminded him that giving everything to others could leave him vulnerable. "You've got to take care of yourself too," she warned gently one afternoon, as Michael explained his plan to extend legal clinics to underserved neighborhoods. "You can't help the world if you burn out." Michael nodded, acknowledging the wisdom, but he was driven by something deeper than ambition or recognition. He had learned, through years of personal trials and professional challenges, that life's most rewarding moments came from meaningful service. Every success felt like a victory not just for the law but for the human spirit itself. However, as his mission gained momentum, old rivalries and tensions resurfaced. Sharon Newman, though supportive of Michael's intentions, worried about the long hours and emotional strain he was placing on himself. Meanwhile, Adam Newman, ever the opportunist, tried to undermine Michael's efforts by questioning his motives to the press, claiming that Michael was seeking publicity rather than justice. Genoa City was abuzz with debate, and Michael's every move was "Please subscribe and like the video before continuing." Scrutinized. Yet Michael remained undeterred. He knew that true impact was never about applause, it was about results. The mission's turning point came when Michael uncovered a deeply buried case involving a family wrongfully separated due to a clerical error decades ago. Their story, once lost to bureaucracy, became the centerpiece of his campaign. Through meticulous investigation, advocacy, and legal maneuvering, Michael reunited the family, bringing tears, gratitude, and widespread admiration. The city watched in awe as a man once known primarily for courtroom theatrics demonstrated profound compassion and persistence. But as the mission progressed, Michael discovered that the obstacles weren't just systemic, they were personal. He faced ethical dilemmas, including cases where justice and loyalty collided. For example, representing clients against powerful figures like Victor Newman or Devin Hamilton challenged Michael's ability to navigate legal battles without harming relationships he cherished. Each victory was tempered with the awareness that real-life outcomes were rarely perfect. Nevertheless, Michael's steadfast dedication inspired others to join the cause. Employees from Newman Enterprises volunteered their skills for community programs, students from Genoa City University interned with his legal team, even former foes began to acknowledge his integrity. His approach fostered a culture of collaboration rarely seen in the city's cutthroat environment. Amidst the legal victories, Michael also experienced personal joy. His bond with Lauren Baldwin deepened as she witnessed his dedication firsthand. Their love, already strong, grew even more resilient as they navigated triumphs and setbacks together. Lauren's support provided Michael with the emotional anchor he needed, reinforcing the idea that true success required balance between personal fulfillment and professional mission. The joyous mission also had unexpected ripple effects. Local media outlets, captivated by Michael's efforts, began featuring stories of ordinary citizens benefiting from his work. The city's "Please subscribe and like the video before continuing" perception of law, justice, and civic responsibility shifted subtly but meaningfully. Michael Baldwin, once primarily known as a savvy lawyer with a checkered past, became a symbol of hope, integrity, and the transformative power of dedication. Yet challenges persisted. Enemies, both old and new, sensed vulnerability and sought to exploit it. Phyllis Summers, observing Michael's growing influence, tried to manipulate situations for her own gain, creating tension and moments of crisis that tested Michael's judgment. Each conflict, however, strengthened his resolve rather than diminishing it. The mission's ultimate test arrived with a high-profile case involving a corporation accused of endangering employees while hiding evidence. The stakes were enormous: lives, reputations, and the city's trust hung in the balance. Michael's meticulous preparation, ethical stance, and persuasive advocacy culminated in a courtroom showdown that captivated Genoa City. After hours of arguments, evidence presentation, and tense deliberation, justice prevailed. The victory was not just legal but moral. Michael had proven that truth and compassion could triumph even against formidable opposition. In the aftermath, Michael Baldwin's joyous mission became more than a series of cases, it became a movement. Residents, inspired by his example, began advocating for one another, supporting community initiatives, and embracing a sense of collective responsibility. Genoa City's culture began to shift toward collaboration, empathy, and accountability. Through it all, Michael remained grounded. He celebrated victories humbly, mourned setbacks gracefully, and continued to prioritize human connection above recognition. His joyous mission was not about accolades, it was about creating lasting impact. And as Genoa City watched him, they saw a man transformed, a lawyer, a husband, a friend, and a beacon of hope who reminded everyone that true joy comes from serving others, confronting challenges with courage, and never losing sight of one's values. In the months and years to come, Michael Baldwin's mission would continue to ripple through the city, inspiring new generations of lawyers, leaders, and citizens. His story became a testament to the power of purpose, proving that one person's dedication could spark profound change, heal wounds, and create a future brimming with possibility. Genoa City would never forget the lawyer who turned his brilliance and heart into a force for good. Michael Baldwin's joyous mission was not just a chapter in his life, it was a legacy in the. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Making Nate Hastings' unexpected invitation. Next up, we have Nate, who gets an unexpected invitation. Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, is a bit worried about Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron. What is this? Report ad. The brunette is also concerned about Noah Newman, Lucas Adams. Victoria was going to send Claire a text about Noah. However, Victoria might want to go to Los Angeles herself to see Claire as well as to support Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case. Will Victoria invite Nate to come on the trip with her? They have been reconnecting lately. Victoria is still grieving, but one day she might move on. Meanwhile, Nate is single again and is really coming through for Victoria as a super supportive friend. Fans might also see what the heck is going on with Noah's story. Who ran him off the road and what is up with that suspicious Detective Burrows, Matt Cohen? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of October 20, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. The Young and the Restless shockers, Nate Hastings' unexpected invitation, secrets, surprises, and a night that could change Genoa City forever. Genoa City was buzzing with whispers and anticipation when Nate Hastings, a man known for his charm, determination, and sometimes reckless bravery, received an invitation that would upend his world. The envelope arrived without warning, delivered to his office at Chancellor Winters Enterprises, marked with a seal so elegant that it seemed almost ceremonial. Nate's first instinct was suspicion. Who sends a personal invitation to a man like him, and why now? The letter was simple yet cryptic: your presence is requested. Tonight. Come, please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Alone. The answers you seek await. His pulse quickened. Over the years, Nate had learned that surprises in Genoa City rarely came without stakes. Whether it involved family secrets, corporate intrigue, or matters of the heart, nothing in this city came free of consequence. But curiosity and a sense of destiny propelled him forward. That evening, dressed sharply in a tailored suit, Nate followed the directions to a private estate on the outskirts of town. The property, shrouded in twilight, exuded elegance and mystery, with soft lights casting shadows across manicured gardens. As he approached the front doors, he felt a mix of anticipation and anxiety, an unshakable sense that his life was about to pivot in ways he couldn't yet imagine. Inside, the atmosphere was electrifying. Music played softly in the background, yet there was no crowd, only a single figure waiting in the grand hall. It was Anna Hamilton, his old friend and confidant, whose presence instantly eased some of his tension. But her expression was serious, almost urgent. "Nate," she said softly, "I didn't know how else to reach you. There's something you need to know, something that could change everything for you and your family." Her words were heavy with implication. Nate's mind raced. Over the years, he had faced corporate betrayals, family conflicts, and romantic twists, but Anna's tone suggested a deeper revelation. "Tell me," he said, his voice steady despite the racing in his chest. Anna explained that the invitation was not just for him but for a select few who had unknowingly been linked to a network of secrets spanning generations. She revealed connections between the Hastings, Hamilton, and Newman families, indicating that certain alliances and betrayals in the city's history had been manipulated by outside forces, forces that had remained hidden until now. Nate struggled to absorb the information. Family legacies, long-forgotten debts, and alliances thought settled suddenly seemed fragile and uncertain. Yet within the chaos lay opportunity. Nate realized that this unexpected invitation was more than a call to witness secrets. It was a challenge, a test of his judgment, resilience, and ability to navigate the dangerous intersections of loyalty, love, and ambition. The evening unfolded like a labyrinth. Nate, please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Moved from room to room, each revealing documents, photographs, and recorded conversations that shed new light on past events. He discovered hidden truths about his father, Neil Hastings, including choices made that shaped Nate's upbringing and career. More astonishingly, he found evidence suggesting that some of the rivalries he had endured, particularly those involving Devon Hamilton and the Newman family, were subtly orchestrated to manipulate outcomes that favored certain powerful figures in Genoa City. The revelation was staggering. Every betrayal, every misunderstanding, every heated confrontation he had endured suddenly had context, and in some cases, a hidden hand behind it. Nate's emotions were a whirlwind of anger, betrayal, and clarity. Yet amid the storm, he realized something crucial: knowledge alone wasn't enough. How he acted on this information would define his future and potentially alter the city's delicate balance of power. Just as he was processing the revelations, a soft voice interrupted him. "Nate, you're not alone in this," Anna reminded him. To his surprise, she introduced him to several other guests who had also received the cryptic invitation: friends, allies, and even some former adversaries. Among them were Devon Hamilton, Lily Winters, and even a hesitant Kyle Abbott. The room, once filled with mystery, now hummed with tension, curiosity, and unspoken questions. "We're all connected in ways we didn't know," Anna explained. "Tonight, we decide what to do with the truth." What followed was a night of revelations, alliances, and challenges. Old friendships were tested, new bonds formed, and some alliances fractured under the weight of the secrets revealed. Nate found himself in a unique position. He had the clarity, intelligence, and moral compass to navigate the treacherous waters of deception and opportunity. But even he couldn't anticipate every twist. A sudden interruption occurred when a masked figure entered the room, delivering a message that shifted the entire dynamic. The figure handed Nate a small, encrypted device, claiming it contained information that could expose long-hidden truths about multiple families in Genoa City. "This is your choice," the figure said before disappearing as mysteriously as they had appeared. Nate stared at the device, knowing that opening it could either empower him or plunge him into danger. The stakes had risen, and the seemingly joyous evening had transformed into a strategic battleground. Over the next several hours, Nate worked alongside Devon and Kyle, carefully analyzing the contents while also navigating the emotional fallout of the evening's discoveries. Each revelation sparked debates, disagreements, and moments of introspection. Loyalties were questioned, motivations examined, and every decision carried weight. Outside, the city remained unaware, but the events of this single night had the potential to reshape relationships, businesses, and the future of Genoa City itself. By dawn, Nate had come to an important realization: while the past could not be changed, the future was his to shape. The unexpected invitation had been more than a summons, it was a call to action. Nate resolved to use the knowledge he had gained to protect his family, foster trust among allies, and confront adversaries with both strategy and integrity. The mission ahead would be perilous, emotional, and complex, but Nate Hastings was ready. As the sun rose over Genoa City, he looked out over the skyline and felt a renewed sense of purpose. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Invitation had brought uncertainty and risk, but it had also offered clarity and empowerment. The choices Nate made in the coming days and weeks would ripple through the city, altering alliances, exposing hidden agendas, and redefining the relationships he held most dear. Friends would be tested, enemies challenged, and secrets unearthed, but one truth remained: Nate Hastings was no longer just reacting to the city around him. He was taking control of his destiny. His unexpected invitation had become the catalyst for a journey that would change Genoa City forever, proving that sometimes, the most unexpected events are the ones that define us. And as the day began, Nate understood that while the night had revealed many dangers, it had also illuminated the path forward, a path that required courage, wisdom, and the unwavering commitment to do what was right, no matter the cost. Genoa City would never be the same, and Nate Hastings' journey was only beginning. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing.